I believe it is a 4-mile hike, 4.1, something like that. So nice dirt trail, great trail for running. I believe a lot of people do mountain biking down here as well. As you can see, there's some nice little hills. So one of the cool things about this trail is there's a lot of history. There used to be a trolley that would run throughout Fairmount Park, and I believe this trail is where the trolley tracks used to be, or at least that's what I understand. You know what? I want to try to make my way down here onto this road. Well, if I can, I will, because there's a really cool old bridge down here. That's one of the things about hiking in the city. If you're really into seeing old ruins or old stonework, Philadelphia is full of it. But if I keep going off trail like this, I'm never going to get this loop done. So, cool bridge, right? It's not really an area I can walk through here. But whenever I see places like this, I just think about how much work went into creating these tunnels, right? All right, well, here comes a car. I am going to go back up this hill before I get hit by a car. So the trail's not very wide. It's a thin trail. So I don't know if the trolley actually followed this exact trail or if it was just in this area. Look at this tunnel. Warning, petroleum pipeline. Okay, so look at this. So this, I would assume, is one of the tunnels. So, unfortunately, I forgot to bring my flashlight, but what's really cool about this is old brickwork that creates this arch. And then we have the classic stonework on the bottom. So if you do come down here, don't do what I did and forget your flashlight, because I really should have my flashlight here. One more look at that tunnel as we walk away from it. Very cool. You see the keystone up there in the middle of the arch. I'm already loving this trail. This is very cool. Look at this old tree. I know I mentioned this in one of my previous videos. Quite often I find the largest, oldest trees when I'm closer to the city. I would assume, I should look into this, but I don't know how long Fairmount Park has been a park. But it goes back a ways, so it wasn't, I guess they weren't using it for lumber. So it was never deforested, I guess. So yeah, a lot of, I think this trail is very popular for mountain bikers. And I could see how it would be a lot of fun. Look at that. Wow. So far, nobody else on this trail, which is kind of nice. Now look at this tree. Holy sheesh. Huge. Huge, huge, huge. For perspective, I really need to start setting up a tripod for these type of pictures, but this tree is huge. See if we can get the top of it on video. It just goes straight up. Oh wow, look at this. So, I guess the trail goes this way, but I wanted to stop and look at this bridge we have here. And I don't know if there's a fence, so I don't think we're going to be able to cross over it, but I don't know if you can see that. Let's look at first of all, let's look at these ruins, I guess we want to call them. The old stonework. I almost feel like maybe the trolley ran down here at one time. I just don't know. Check out this old, I'm gonna say it's an iron bridge. Like I said, what's officially called the Trolley Trail is, let me back up, I want to get this, I think it's 4.1 miles, something like that. As we're walking along the petroleum pipeline, I want to get this bridge in. Look at that, isn't that cool? So the bridge goes right over. The fact it's arched like that, I'm thinking that wasn't where the trolley did not run out. The trolley did not run over that, but perhaps it ran underneath it. We just don't know. So, got to get back on trail. But just one more look. The old stonework, we have it on this side as well. Let's go up to the bridge. Old piece of iron there. One on the other side, just some remnants of the past. And here is, okay, so we are gated off. We are not going to be crossing that. And that's probably a good thing because looks like the floor is definitely rusted out. So it's kind of neat. Look how nature's taken over though. I would think I don't know if it's wood or, I guess it's iron that goes across, but nature is building a little garden there. All right, so I'm thinking this is the trail we came off of. I always need to stay conscious of the trail that I came off of because I do tend to get lost pretty easily. Okay, we have another huge, huge tree right here. Now that is amazing. Look at that. Okay, so anyway, this is leading up to that old bridge. We have a little bit of, looks like there was an asphalt road at one time. So, all right, let's go. So we're not too far off of the road. I'm not sure what road that is, so sorry about the noise. It sounds like they're doing some construction or some work over there. That's just pretty much comes with the territory when you go hiking in the city of Philadelphia. It's So not much I can do about that, but you know, in a weird kind of way, I love, you know, when I'm out in the middle of nowhere and all you hear are the birds and, you know, the sounds of nature. But there's something kind of cool about being in an environment like this and still hearing all the city noise. I don't know, maybe I'm strange, but I think it's kind of cool. So these old wires still in use? I don't know. They're kind of like hanging kind of low. You would think something would be done about that. So I don't know. And as I'm coming along here, you know, here's a big piece of iron in the ground up against that rock. So there's remnants of the past everywhere. Oh, we are coming up on tunnel number 2. Check this out. Beautiful. And look at, see, it has the old stone railing. I mean, not stone, it has the old wooden railing. And then we have the stonework here on the side. We have ivy growing on this side. And another one of these amazing tunnels. Beautiful stonework. This one's not as high. I can almost touch that keystone up there. And of course, we have a little bit of that urban graffiti. Again, we have the bricks up here on the top. The other side of the tunnel, beautiful arch. You know, don't know how easy it is to get up there, so I think I might skip that on this one. I mean, I'm sure I could. Oh, Jen, who are you fooling? You're gonna try to get up there. All right, maybe we have a little trail here. Maybe, maybe not. Sticker bushes. So I decided to skip going up, not because of the sticker bushes, but there was actually someone sleeping up there, so I don't want to bother somebody. It's sad, but when you do see homeless people sleeping in the woods, it tends to be during the day. Probably because at night it's probably safer to keep moving. This is such a cool trail. I kind of like these thin one-track trails. Check these out for all my nature enthusiasts. What are these? So these, I don't know what tree they come from, but look, you open them up. It's kind of gross, but ew, very gross. I don't know if you can see that. There's seeds in it. Now I got gook all over my hands. All right, so on the tree it says Trolley Trail. So this is, I will say this is a very well marked trail. Another huge, huge tree. Moving. Oh my God, another huge tree. I mean, I could stop and look at these trees all day long, but if I were the viewer, I'd get kind of bored with that after a while. So when I'm making these videos, I try to think of myself watching them. So we have an old pole laying there, or a pipe. Oh my gosh. We got some more ruins over here. Wow, we have them over here too. Okay. So, trying to figure out what this was. I'm thinking that this here, okay, you have this on this side, and then if I go off trail for a minute, you can see there's some ruins over here as well, and they look very similar to what we're looking at over here. So oh, this is muddy. I am not on the same trail now, but I do have to check this out. Once again, Jen does not have the proper footwear. I should have hiking boots on for this. But okay, I'm not gonna go climbing through this, but we have, on this side, we have that stone structure. And I'm thinking there was a bridge that went over this stream, perhaps? Perhaps. Perhaps not, but perhaps. And we have the other side here, and we have some type of concrete here, which maybe I can crawl in here a little. We have some type of a, I guess, a foundation that maybe held up or had something to do with this bridge. So I am 90% sure, and correct me if I'm wrong, or if you think so, you know, I'd love to hear it in your comments, that a bridge spanned from there to there at one time. Quite possibly the trolley ran over that bridge. So the trolley. So I did read a little bit about it before I came out here, and I believe it was built, again, my memory's not the greatest, so I always put descriptions in the video if I'm wrong. I believe it was built like in the 1870s, maybe 1870s, 1880s. And it was built because back then people didn't have cars, or the vast majority of the people didn't until, I don't know, at least the 1930s. I'm gonna guess people in the city didn't until at least the 1930s. And there was a trolley that would come out, and it would go throughout Fairmount Park. So if you're not familiar with Philadelphia, Fairmount Park is kind of like Central Park in New York. It was some land that was set aside early on, so people that lived in congested cities, which at one time Philadelphia, I believe, was the most populated city in the country. I think even at the time when I was born in the mid-60s, I think it was the third largest behind only New York and Chicago at that time. And you know, there were a lot of factories, a lot of row homes. I mean, it was very congested. So to be able to take a trolley out to Fairmount Park was a vacation. It was wonderful. It had to be. But by the time the 1940s rolled around, most people had cars, and that was kind of the sad ending of this trolley. I believe like after World War II, it was all torn up and auctioned off. I guess the tracks or whatever had any value. So there are no tracks left out here. But it's always nice to look at what is left and try to visualize what once was. And that's one of the things I really want to do on this channel, is not necessarily educate people, because I am in no way a historian, but just, I don't know, take a little look into the past. I mean, every video is not gonna be like that, but I'm finding as I continue on with this channel, I'm gravitating towards those type of videos. So we have another stone structure over here. I mean, these are all over the place in this park. Looks very similar, same stonework we saw before. Let's see what we have. And I don't know what this would have been for. So there's like stone here, there's stone here, there's stone going across, and there's like a cutout here. So it almost looks like there would have been a bridge going across the other side, but I don't see how that would be possible. It doesn't really make much sense, but we're not going to figure it all out today. Nor is that really my intention, but anyway, hopefully you're enjoying this hike. Okay, so here we got the trail going off in 3 different directions again, but I see a trolley trail marking. So I give a thumbs up to those maintaining this trail. And as I stop here to say that, check it out. We have another one of these structures. And again, it almost looks exactly the same. You got the side, and then you got the sort of opening in the middle, which tells me, really doesn't tell me much, but if anyone leaves a comment, I'm thinking, I mean, it just looks like there would have been like a bridge or something coming out of that. Maybe not. Maybe some type of a structure that went straight up. I can't see that it was a bridge because I don't see anything over here. But this place probably looked a whole lot different in the early 20th century than it does now. All right, people, we are coming up to another tunnel. I think this might be the one I was referring to earlier, but I'm not sure. So let's get down there and check it out. No, it is not, but this is cool too. Okay, looks like somebody dumped something down here. I hope it's not a body. Oh God, what is that? A mattress, I guess. I don't know, just an eerie feeling. You see that, you hear the sirens, and the mind tends to wander. But let's check out this bridge. Same thing, we've got the bricks. See, we got like stone here, and then it turns to brick. And we got a tire. All right, let's look at this from the other side. And I'm thinking we can go up. I want to see what street this is. So where are we, people? I'm not sure. I'm thinking this is Kelly Drive, but I am in no way sure. One more look at that beautiful tunnel as we backpedal away from it. I gotta say though, if you get rid of the noise that we hear in the background, this is really one of the more beautiful trails I've been on in Pennsylvania. I mean, obviously we hear the traffic noise, but this is really nice. And it's well maintained. This trail is beautiful. Got some old trash here, which usually I find trash disgusting, but this looks like old, I mean, it's still disgusting, but old iron and an old electrical outlet. How you doing? Yes, it is. Somebody's trash, but it feels like it's old. And that guy who just drove by on a bike scared the crap out of me. Okay, and we have dumping over here too. So I am not a fan of dumping. I probably should not have stopped there and looked at that. I'm thinking we have to be coming up on that. Taking a breather. I'm thinking we have to be coming up on that tunnel that I was talking about. And you'll see what I'm talking about. It's not your everyday tunnel design. Should always stop to enjoy the beautiful flowers. Yep. So I have not seen any hikers today or people walking with their dogs. But what I have seen are a lot of mountain bikes. So be cautious of that because these lanes are really narrow, or these trails are really narrow, I should say. Alright, so I'm thinking I go this way, right? Because I see a sign down there, although this looks like a bus stop and food store. No parking. Bus stop and food store, no parking. Okay, so this was a bus stop? I guess it's pointing this way, but the sign, which you could barely see, the sign says that's a no parking sign. It's an old no parking sign. So maybe at one time, honestly, I have no idea because I don't know. I can't imagine this was a road at one time. So I'll just leave it at that. If somebody knows better, please leave it in the comments. No, thanks for warning me. Right. Bye, have fun. Like I said, you gotta be careful in this trail because it's a thin trail. And like I said, I don't think too many people hike here. Whew, I think it's more of a biker's trail. Oh my God, I think, people, I think I think this is the tunnel I've been promising. So we shall see. You probably can't see it yet, but through all this beautiful greenery, we have another tunnel. And I think this is the one that I really wanted to check out. Here's the old stonework. We've seen that before, but if you look in, I don't know how to describe this. It almost looks like a cathedral. I want to say ceiling, but but it's brick, okay? But it's like I'm just gonna stay right here for a second so you get a good look at that. That is pretty amazing, pretty beautiful. Okay, so my camera just died. I don't know if it overheated or whatever, and then I saw something that said repairing file. So I'm kind of freaking out. I'm hoping it didn't erase this whole hike, which would really suck. And I'm hoping it didn't, but if it did, it did. So we'd have to deal with it. So I still want, this is the most beautiful tunnel on the trail. And there's somebody coming through on a bike, so let's just hold up a second.
Thank you again.
Well, that was kind of cool because you actually get to see a little perspective that way. So we have the stonework, and then we have what appears to be almost a cathedral ceiling. Would that be the proper word for a tunnel? I guess, right? But look at that. That is so cool. And as I walk through this, I'm picturing the excitement of the people on the trolley passing through Fairmount Park. And as I said earlier, maybe I edited it out, so I'll say it again. I think the vast majority of the people that were taking these trolley rides were people that lived in the city and they didn't get out in nature too often. So this was like a real treat. As it's starting to rain on my head. But how cool is that? I love it. I just think this is such a cool tunnel. Of course, we have our graffiti, but not much up on the ceiling, so that's cool. It has like a spiral almost. It's not really sure how to explain it any better than just it kind of has a cathedral look to it. So we do have a storyboard here, and this will probably tell us a little bit about it. So, the Fairmount Park Transit Company incorporated in 1897. Okay, so I think earlier in this video I said 1870, so I was off 27 years. And in operation until 1946, so it only lasted 49 years. It opened a full-service trolley that circled West Fairmount Park with 16 stops servicing 52nd Street, Parkside Avenue, Strawberry Mansion, Belmont Plateau, Chamonix, and the famous Woodside Amusement Park. So that's cool. There used to be an amusement park down here somewhere. After 2 world wars and a Great Depression, a hefty levy placed on the company's revenue by the Fairmount Park Commission, the trolley and the amusement park fell into bankruptcy in 1946, closed its doors for good. Well, that's something I didn't know. There was an amusement park down here somewhere. God, I would love to, well, maybe this is a future video, but do some research where exactly the amusement park was. See if we can find some remnants of an old amusement park. I mean, I guess if it was closed down in 1946, there's probably not much left, but one never knows. But that would be kind of cool. It's actually starting to rain really hard, so I think I'm gonna end my video here. Hopefully I find my way back to the car. Thank you so much for joining me. If you could, please give it a like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much, and you have a great weekend. Take care, everybody.